If some of you remember or saw my other videos, you'll know that I had some eggplant growing. Well, it's been so extremely hot that I went out there this morning and I went ahead and picked the biggest ones because I was afraid if I left them out there, they were going to be too hard or they would get so hot they'd start cooking on the vine. So what I decided to do is cut the biggest ones, leave the small ones, and come in here and cook me some blooming eggplant. I know a lot of you have had blooming onions before, but I don't think anybody I'm aware of that's ever fixed a blooming eggplant. But see the way I'm cutting. Just cut them 3 times the long way, flip them over, cut them 3 times again. I hope you can see that okay. Yeah, I didn't want to leave them on there and let them turn yellow or get hard or bitter. I know sometimes the cucumbers will do that if they get too hot. So I decided I'd pick these few, which are pretty mature. You see there. And go ahead and cook blooming onions. Now I've got about a 3/4 cup flour. And I do have 1 egg beaten. To that flour, I'm going to add just a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Maybe 1/4 cup. And then I'm going to add just maybe a teaspoon of garlic salt. Because that should be all the salt that you'll need on these. And about a teaspoon of onion powder. And just a little bit of black pepper. Maybe a 1/2 teaspoon of that. Mix it up real good. Wanted to get this so you can see it. Get it arranged somehow here. My kitchen is not the best for videoing anything. I'm going to go ahead and turn my oil on, and I've just got a little bit of olive oil that I'm going to fry them in. And just take your cut eggplant, dip it down in your egg mixture. Let it drip off a little bit. And then just batter it down in your flour. Make sure you open it up a little bit and get some of that flour down in there. I was going to use breadcrumbs, but I actually didn't have any today, so. And I'm just going to lay them right there. Until my olive oil gets hot. Now you may need just a little bit more flour. You may need to mix up a little bit more egg. It just depends on how many zucchini. I mean, how many eggplants? It's early in the morning. I'm saying zucchini when I meet eggplant. You think I was drinking, and I don't drink at all. I'm allergic to most alcohols because of the stuff that is in it, so I don't drink as a general rule. Test my oil. Now granted, these may not turn out perfect. They are kind of small, so. No, I didn't put those in the egg wash, did I? Gotta get some of that egg on there to hold the flour on. And just work it in the best you can. So you get some of that. I'm going to try putting one in and see what happens. Yeah, works a little bit. Now what I do with mine when I cook them, get ready to eat them, that is, I can get some either ranch dressing, blue cheese dressing, or anything like that as a dip to dip it in to eat. It's pretty good. That way you don't have to go to the expense to get any certain type of a dip. And you'll notice that I did leave the little stems on the end. That's just to hold them with after you cook them. So when you get ready to eat them, you got something to hold on to, just to bite them off of the little stem, or you can just pull them apart like you would a blooming onion and eat them that way. There, I got one more. So that one egg was just perfect for what I'm doing, or no more than what I'm cooking. So you'll have to judge if you cook more, you know, the big ones, and that's not enough egg, then you just have to beat you up some more egg and add more flour, add more Parmesan cheese to your mixture. And there you go. I'm going to clean my hands off here a little bit. Yeah, we're having a water shortage right now, so I'm washing my dishes in a little bitty dish pan that fits right inside my sink. That way I can just go ahead and rinse them off and put them in my drainer. And I do that mainly because I want to water my plants with the dishwater. I mean, probably a lot of you people have never thought about taking a little bit of dishwater and add it to your plants when you water them. But they love that just like they do compost tea. So I try not to waste water, and with this water shortage we've got, they've been turning our water off just about every day. So I try to conserve on water the best I can. Get a couple of napkins here fixed so I can have something to put those cooked eggplants on, or my blooming eggplants. want it hanging way over the plate. So there. Put it right there so you can see them. I'm going to take them out of the pan. I know when I first started my channel, I thought I would probably just stick with growing, compost tea, that type of thing. But I said, well, you know what? I said, after you grow stuff, people, might want to know how to cook what you're growing. So I thought I'd show you how I fix my blooming eggplant. Because, like I said earlier, to my knowledge, I don't know of anyone that has cooked a blooming eggplant. And that's probably the best way I know how to cook it. See, it's getting really pretty brown. That's going to be good with just a little bit of ranch dressing or blue cheese, like I said. And I got some Kraft blue cheese that I think I'm going to try with it. That is, if I can try it without it being too hot. Making sure my camera was still going. It takes a few minutes to cook them, but they're worth it. You might want to drop a line to me occasionally and just let me know what you'd like to see. Maybe some kind of recipes that you would like to see, or... Because I grew up in New York City. That's where my grandmother was from. On my mom's side, that's where my mom grew up. And then when we were about 9 years old, we moved back to North Carolina, where I was born originally. So I grew up way out in the country in North Carolina, out in swampland. So I grew up, since my grandparents were Italian, my great-grandparents were straight from Italy. They came over here in the 1800s. I cook a lot of variety of food. I mean, I love Italian food since, I grew up eating a lot of Italian food. And then my dad was originally from North Carolina, the area where we lived there. And his parents owned a farm. So I grew up eating a lot of fresh vegetables, fresh meat, because they grew everything that they consumed on that farm. Everything except coffee, sugar, stuff that they couldn't produce themselves came off the farm. Even their bacon, their ham, was all hung in a smokehouse. So, I'm very versatile when it comes to cooking. Leave that in there just a little bit longer. Yeah, and I wouldn't change my childhood for any reason, because I got to experience the big city, the concrete jungle as they call it, New York City. And then I got to experience growing up in the country just as far south and deep in the country as you could possibly get. We did live along the coastline, close to a town called Wilmington. So we had accesses to Carolina Beach, Wrightsville Beach, Holden's Beach. And then for a short time, I lived on Oak Island, which I dearly loved because I was 2 blocks right off the beach strand. Couldn't have suited me any better. And then we moved to Texas. I moved here with my husband at the time because he was transferred with Brown and Root to Comanche Peak. And after all that, we ended up divorced. Like a lot of other people. That moved out here at the time, which was so sad. Because a lot of them were my friends. And I hated to see misfortune happen to them as well as to myself. But that's life, right? Now those look good. You think those look good? I'm going to try one just in a minute. But I want it to cool off just a tiny bit. Just coming out of that grease. Get this one, I think. Let it cool just a tiny bit and then I'll try it. Woo, too hot. One thing I was going to do that I forgot to do, and that was peel them. Because I wasn't sure if the skin would be tough. A lot of times the skin is real tender, so you can go ahead and cook it with the skin on it. But these, I was going to peel them. Because I was afraid being in that hot sun, they made the skin a little tough. But and that piece I ate, the skin is just a tiny bit tough. Not so bad you can't eat it, but it is a little tough. See, I dipped my ranch dressing in there. That's good. No, I'm sorry, I got blue cheese, not ranch. Keep calling it ranch. It'd be better with ranch, I think. I think everything goes good with ranch. Yeah, test the skin on your eggplants. And if you think there's a possibility that that skin can be a little tough, go ahead and peel your eggplant before you cut it. I lucked out with these. They're not quite so tough you can't eat them, but it'd have been better if I'd have peeled it. But anyway, that's how you cook a blooming eggplant. I hope you catch me on some more of my videos. And I always hope that you like my videos, you share my videos, and you subscribe to my videos. Peace be with everyone. And like I said in my last video, if you live in Texas, stay cool. Stay inside, drink plenty of fluids because it's hot. Y'all have a great day. and see you on the next video.